Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Just in case you were not aware, this is the third movie in the Star Wars franchise that was actually filmed, but it's actually the sixth installment of this saga. In first place, the episodes have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Star Wars 2, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars 4, Episode 4, A New Hope, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and now today the movie review for Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This movie was rated PG. The duration of this film is 2 hours and 11 minutes. It's an action, fantasy, adventure. It is directed by Richard Marquand. All of the cast members reprising their roles. They are, of course, Mark Hamill back as Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford back as Han Solo, Carrie Fisher back as Princess Leia, Billy D. Williams back as Lando Calrissian, Anthony Daniels back as C-3PO, Peter Mayhew back as Chewbacca, Ian McDiarmid back as the Emperor, Frank Oz back reprising his role as Yoda, and this time incredibly credited Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and last but definitely not the least, Kenny Baker as R2-D2. Oh my gosh, guys, if you've seen my review, if you already saw my review that I posted yesterday for The Empire Strikes Back, I cannot stress this one enough. I genuinely, authentically, seriously cannot stress this one enough. This movie is as good, if not just more effectively, profoundly, ridiculously, incredibly, mind-blowingly, brilliantly, scoredly, writtenly, directedly, acted, visual effectly on point for what a movie needs to be in cinema. In every way, shape or form, in every degree, every level. This movie has intense moments. It has really intimate, beautiful elements. This movie has incredibly brilliant, mind-blowing CGI chemistry background. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This movie has the core element in its DNA that movie in cinema needs. In every movie should have this. It really should, because this is what film is about. Rewatchability. Rewatchability is the element of elements that comes from the element of brilliant filmmaking. Literally. This movie has so much rewatchability. It is incredible. Straight off the bat, I actually noticed instantly how much more mature Luke Skywalker was in this film. I was really genuinely, authentically surprised from A New Hope to The Empire Strikes Back. Honestly, seriously, to Episode 3, Return of the Jedi. Seriously, his mental status and his growth and development into this film, in my personal opinion, was so incredibly, ridiculously, impressively obvious that I was so blown away. I genuinely was like, wow, that's a big difference. That's a really, genuinely, authentically, incredibly big difference from what he was. Like, really. I loved what he became at the end of this film. And I'm going to talk about something later on in this movie review that is literally in every way, shape or form one of my favorite parts of this entire movie slash franchise, but specifically this movie, because what they do, what you visually saw was so well done. It was so well done. And I was just looking back on it, I was like, yep, that was brilliant. That was incredibly brilliant. I want to say in sort of a negative way, cinema doesn't make movies like this anymore. They really don't. It's all CGI and it's very minimal practical effects. Specifically for a movie of this caliber, of this mass. Rewatching this really made me sort of sit back and sort of, not in a negative way I guess, but really made me go, I miss this stuff. I do. I really miss massive, ginormous action films with so much practical effects to it. Like literally. So much puppetry and just everything in it. Everything in this film was a thumbs up, a standing ovation. For real. I really genuinely thought to myself several times watching this film, guys, authentically, do more of this. Do more of this stuff, Hollywood. Directors, writers, pay people to do practical things. Make things look incredible. I mean, look at one of the things that I'm going to quickly touch on right now, and it's a great segue for practical effects, is, you know, Jabba the Hutt has a very large role in this film and compared to the other films. He really made this film different and unique because of the fact of his, I want to say, evilness in this film. You really saw, you know what, I won't call it evil. I'm going to use another word that it describes who Jabba the Hutt is a better way. Those of you who haven't seen this film, and after this review, I'm pretty sure you will, but his ugliness, yeah, inside and outside, you'll really see how genuinely, hideously disgusting Jabba the Hutt is in this film. Really. They don't hide it. They don't do anything to cover it up. It's very open, it's very known, it's very noticeable, and it's clearly very deliberate for the filmmakers, because going back and rewatching it, it's like, wow, yeah, seriously, wow, that's, wow, you know, that. But you got to remember, Jabba the Hutt was actually moved and used, but bit of start off trivia for you guys, was done by 7 puppeteers. 7 puppeteers actually made Jabba the Hutt become a living it, because that's what it took. And yet these days, we just use computer stuff and there's a bunch of guys sitting around, and yet instead of actual hands-on practical effects. I really miss it. I genuinely miss it. I legitimately loved the connection between Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is in this film and you're like, wait, what? And if you saw the last film, The Empire Strikes Back, you'll know what I'm talking about right now. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Seriously, there's something, there's a way, I don't know, I don't do spoilers, guys. For those who've been following me for any period of time, I don't do spoilers. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is revealed in a way in this movie. And his dialogue connection with Luke Skywalker in this is so powerfully, beautifully, executedly, incredibly, brilliantly amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Like, seriously, wow. I loved it. I ate it up. I loved it. I appreciated it. I really saw the emotional effect that it had on Luke Skywalker. And Mark Hamill, boom, knocked it out of the park. Explode. Come on, seriously. What an absolutely mammothly, epically awesome performance by a phenomenal actors. Incredible. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they are. But I am going to say this movie has the cutest fuzzy people you'll probably ever see in any film in the history of film. And no, I'm not talking about the Gremlins. They're someone else. They're not as small as that. But they are super cute, they are super fluffy, and they are super adorable, and they are mean, feisty little things. But you'll see when you see the movie. Yes, I love them. I love them so much in that. Oh my gosh, in every way, shape, or form. I was like, can they get any cuter? I mean, really, can they get any cuter than that? Ah, man alive, guys. I seriously cannot tell you. We just want to grab on them. In this movie, guys, Luke reveals a ginormous secret to Leia. I won't tell you what it is, but he reveals a ginormous secret to Leia in this film. That core element of that reveal, and she knew it all along, but she didn't know it. She had a feeling about it, but she didn't actually know it. What is revealed to Leia, I think, is one, besides of the last movie, besides that, this was like the link in key to that element in The Empire Strikes Back. The Last Jedi has an element, technically two, and you could say three, but one specific element to do with the character interaction between Luke Skywalker and Leia. And it's interesting because Leia is, just Princess Leia. You're like, wait, what's Leia's last name? In this film, technically, you'll find out. It's a reveal. I loved it. I loved how they revealed it. The way that Luke Skywalker went about it was beautifully, brilliantly, executedly phenomenal. It really was, because it gives the audience that element of, oh wow, we know that. We know what you're talking about. And yet, being her, finding out as the character, you're like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? Just a beautiful element to a beautifully brilliant script and a specifically storyline. So, speaking of storyline, you cannot have an incredible film without an impeccably brilliant score. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, man. John Williams cannot do any wrong. He really, genuinely, authentically, seriously cannot go wrong in his movies. He is just that good. I honestly, he's one of those guys that you think to yourself, I'd love to see him do a crappy, do you know what I mean? He's just that good. He's just that brilliant. He's just that beyond brilliantly, just mind-blowingly, incredibly talented human being with a gift of gifts, that he knows exactly how to do what he's doing and bring the element of emotion that drives the audience into the movie. And that's how he is so good at what he does, because he executes it perfectionately every time. So you absolutely, I genuinely 100% mean this, You must watch Star Wars Episode 6, right? Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, before watching Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And you're like, wait, why? There's a link in the dialogue that if you don't watch 6 before you watch 7, what Han Solo says in 6 won't make sense in 7. You'll be like, wait, how? You'll see. Honestly, I genuinely mean that. I would genuinely, authentically, highly recommend you to watch it from absolute episode 1 right through. Because the storyline is a complete continuum. It's a complete continuum from absolute episode 1. I was going to say birthing place of word go, which yes, but episode 1. Specifically the link in dialogue with Han Solo in 6 and 7. You'll see what I mean when you see it. And those who have seen this movie already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you might not. And I don't want to give it away what it's to do with, but it's a really, really, really big deal. And it's something really precious and very valuable to him, his person and Chewbacca, in the element of what they represent in Star Wars. I absolutely loved the word's not intimate, but the intense, beautiful, quiet scene between Luke Skywalker and Yoda. I loved that scene. There is so much heart in that scene. There is so much incredibly beautiful elements of real, authentic connection between Luke's journey going forth because of what Yoda reveals to Luke. It's already revealed to Luke, but Yoda locks it in, and the way he locks it in, the elements behind that going forward into the new season, the new movies, the new path for Luke Skywalker from that conversation is so vital to the rest of the movies. It's so vital to the rest of the episodes. That conversation is the core element of the magnitude of the rest of the film and how it impacts the audience. It really is. It's sort of the heartbeat. It's really the heartbeat, even though it's so slow and quiet, but it's the heartbeat of the film. It really, just that conversation before Yoda's, I won't give it away. Speaking of sequences between characters / actors, the sequence between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Oh my goodness, in every level imaginable, in every way, shape or form. I cannot tell you guys. Something happens at the end of this film and someone is revealed to someone else and something is removed for the reveal. Far out. It is just, words can't describe how well a scene can be executed and the actors portray the scene to make it hit so hard that when you leave the movie theater, you're going, what did I just watch? There is a sequence of elements in this movie to do with Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader that is so incredibly, brilliantly, ridiculously, so did that seriously just happen? The only thing I have to say it kind of annoyed me a little bit, the reveal, because after the reveal happens, I thought to myself, whatever they're going to do episodally forward from here, that element is now gone. So they have to make something even bigger and better into the next movies. Just because of how big he was as a character is why now that reveal is like, damn, that sucks. But obviously they did it with Rogue One and they nailed it, even though that's a movie that joins movies together. And going forward, it's just, he's still a vital element to the entire episode's saga, but he's not there in body anymore. No spoilers, you'll see what I mean. This movie actually has one of the most incredibly on point suspenseful elements to certain scenes. And the way they execute the suspense in it is so on point, where it's almost like the character development and the way it is executed for you to be so taken in this movie it does my head in, because it's all in the writing, it's all in the script, it's all in the story, but the execution of the characters to be able to bring the audience into that element of suspense, and again, John Williams' score. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And speaking of good, I actually would genuinely authentically, I actually feel that this is the funniest movie out of all of them so far. I genuinely think that. The more I was watching this movie made me laugh more than any of the other ones in the entire episodes / the saga. Really. I think I laughed more in this one than any of the other films put together, because of, you'll see what I mean when you see the film, the development of what and who they are is incredible. And speaking of incredible, as I said earlier, guys, there's something that happens at the end of this film, and it's actually at the 2 hour and 7 minute mark of this film. There's something visually revealed at the end of this movie, and it is my favorite element of all the movies so far. That element and how they changed it, because it was different back when it first came out, and they changed it to someone else, and who they changed it to. There's something that you see that Luke Skywalker looks at and he smiles, and you'll see what I mean when you see it, guys. But I cannot tell you, as a film fan loving goer, I could literally watch that over and over and over. And yes, they used it in the movies going forward, but not to the level and the degree and the beauty of it in this movie, and I loved it. As I said earlier, guys, this movie has one of the biggest reveals in cinema. Literally. It has one of the biggest reveals in cinema, and it's massive. It's ginormous. And honestly, this movie is, I would honestly genuinely say that this movie is on par with The Empire Strikes Back. Seriously, I genuinely would say that. And the funny part about it, which I think is really interesting looking back, George Lucas didn't even direct this one, which I thought was really, really, really bizarre. He obviously produced it and helped write it, but he didn't direct it. And I thought that was really fascinating. I'm guessing it had a lot to do with his health, but his health got really, really bad after doing this film, so I don't know about that. Anyway, guys, those of you who have been following me for any period of time ever, you know what time it is. It's trivia time. According to Ian McDermott, George Lucas originally cast him simply because of the physical performance of the Emperor, similar to David Prowse's Darth Vader. This came evident when a producer told him that if he was able to get his voice closer to Clive Revels, who portrayed the Emperor in the Rebels, episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980, Lucas would let him use his on-camera vocalist in the final cut of the movie. However, McDermott felt he could conduct a stronger, more wicked, demonic voice for the Emperor as opposed to the other Emperor. Lucas and even Steven Spielberg was so impressed with his take that that was the signature of his character. Next, it took 6 people to work the full size of Jabba the Hutt. Next, during the shot in which Selassie is Crump, the small, annoying, rat-like thing in the palace, is chewing off C-3PO's eye, Anthony Daniels had a panic attack while in the C-3PO suit. While filming, he didn't actually say his lines. All of his lines were dubbed in post-production anyway, that repeated, get me up, over and over and over. This is the take used in the final cut. That sucks. Next, following the success of Boba Fett appearing in comics and being a popular supporting character, George Lucas admitted he had no idea the character was so popular. He mentioned that if he had known, he would have given the bounty hunter a more memorable death scene. Lucas even considered adding a shot of Boba Fett escaping the Starlight so that the 2004 DVD. Ultimately, he decided against it because he didn't want viewers to be distracted from the intended storyline. Next, in the 2004 DVD release, George Lucas explained the reason behind the Yoda, why Darth Vader was his father. George Lucas consulted with a psychiatrist in the making of the film. The psychologist said if it was equivocally stated that Luke was his father, kids 12 and under would dismiss it completely as a lie. Next, fake scripts were distributed to the cast members that were considering likely to leak out information to the media. Some of these phony stories elements were indeed leaked, such as Lando being revealed as the last hope as the Jedi mentioned by Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. Next, the Emperor's chair was mechanized so it could moved remotely. However, it screwed up heaps, and so Ian McDermott had to actually shuffle his foot to move it with a piece of tape to show him where to stop. How funny is that? So it wouldn't be visible to the camera. Next, cameo, Ben Burt, the Imperial officer in the bunker who says freeze and gets knocked back into the generator room by a thrown satchel. When he falls over, he actually attempts to emulate the Wilhelm scream, which he made famous. Next, and I'll leave you with this one, guys. Sir Alec Guinness filmed his cameo in just 1 day. Guys, seriously, I seriously appreciate so much you being here. I really value you sticking in with this movie review. You guys are incredibly, brilliantly amazing. To almost all my subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube reviews, my channel. I really value it. I appreciate it so much. I hope you're enjoying these as much as I love bringing them to you. I'm sorry about my microphone stuff up in the previous review because long story short, I've got a new microphone now, so I'm all good to go now. No more pops, no more crackles. It's all professional now. We're all good to go. Got a beautiful microphone. And you know, guys, don't forget, if you appreciate my movie reviews, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on my review. That way I know you're appreciating my content, and I really value your feedback on that. That's amazing. And speaking of feedback, what did you think of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi? What did you think about it, guys? I'm really genuinely, authentically interested to know your thoughts on this movie. Did you love it as much as every other fan out there? What do you think about it? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. That would be brilliantly, amazingly awesome. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. That would be incredible. And don't forget to click the bell for notifications. That way when I drop anything, it'll be yours straight away. You guys are amazing. And until my next movie review, you know what that's going to be, guys. Yep, that's right. The movie review coming tomorrow, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Dropping 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Cannot wait. So excited to give you guys that one. Far out. It's going to be awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to doing that movie review. Yeah. Oh man, who is ready? Who is ready for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker? I am so ready for that film. You have no idea. And don't forget who's bringing this movie review to you guys. This is Superman Steve, guys. Flying off!